Whoa! I didn't do my Sunday assignment. Now some of you are probably like, why is that such a big deal? I don't do schoolwork all the time. And others are probably like, do you have to do schoolwork? It's good and you're gonna do well in life. You can do it. Nerds. But it wasn't the fact that I didn't do it, it's how I went about not doing it. And it wasn't because I went off, just did other things. Well, that happened. But it was how my entire attitude just changed and collapsed in on itself. For those of you who don't know, I'm enrolled in online school at a community college. I have two classes, web development and art appreciation. Thursdays is web development, but Sundays is art appreciation. I have a week, usually sometimes more than a week, to do each assignment. And what do? I look at it at 9 o'clock at night and try to get it done by midnight when it's due, by midnight. So I have to write 500 words pertaining to some subject that we read about in the book, which I couldn't find, and then a discussion question. I did the discussion question eventually, right before the time was up, just so I could get one grade in. But the important grade is what I didn't do, the 500-word essay. And at first, I didn't know what happened. I was reading the PowerPoint review since I couldn't find the stupid book. I still don't know where it is. And all of a sudden, in my head, I finished the chapter, and I was like, what if I just didn't do it? And it wasn't like I was stressed out, like I usually am. I was just thinking, why don't I just don't do it? What's the point? And I started to reflect in on myself about the universe, and I was trying to reason with myself that this thing that I needed to do was so minuscule compared to everything in the entire universe. We take up so little space in this universe, in this world, and we have only like 70 years to live unless you have good health insurance and stuff. And I was just thinking about how small we are, and it just all collapsed in on me, and I was trying to explain it to my friend, and I ended up not doing my assignment. Instead, I watched the new Dan Is Not on Fire video, tried to build a clothes rack without all of the pieces, cleaned off my couch, thought of other things that I could have been doing, and of course reflected in on life. And I wasn't even sure what got me into that state. Once I got over the shock of this sudden change in mentality, I realized I was having an existential crisis. And I always thought that I always tried to be aware of how small we are, and people are always like,
I can't fathom how many people there are and how short of time we have and the universe.
But I'm usually okay with it. I can imagine how big the universe is. I like seeing pictures of how small the Earth is from the surface of Mars or near Saturn, which I saw today. It's pretty cool. Surprisingly big. I love seeing those things where you start with like an atom and then you go to an ant and it just zooms out all the way, and then it's like, for some reason I find that almost refreshing. So I didn't really understand why this was holding me back, why I was feeling this way. And then I read the assignment again. It was literally about how people throughout history have created art and asked questions about why we exist and the purpose of life and death, and I just find it funny that I didn't realize at first, like, oh, it was the assignment that made me feel this way. Not the fact that I had the assignment, the actual questions it was asking. So, I didn't do it. I decided several weeks ago that I wasn't going to continue my work at this community college, on campus or not, after the semester? After the semester ends. I'm not signing up for any more classes, and this semester's just it for me. It's not working out. I might go back to college eventually. I feel like I should, but somewhere cool like UNCW where I can actually learn what I want to learn. This college has nothing. Ignore my hair. Focus on my nearly perfect eyeliner. So yeah, I had my own little existential crisis. That was fun. problem is I'm getting even a worse grade in that class now. The good news is I had a video subject. Sharing my loser intentions with the world. I feel honored with myself. And about the end screen, I know it wasn't exactly right on the last video because I didn't check it, and I'm going to fix it. It should be fixed at the end of this video. And I'll see you next time with some other mistake that I make. I also posted some Vine videos over the weekend, if you want to check those out. Bridge out. My computer's on. Air in my eye.
Bad news is I probably am getting even a worse grade. The bad news is I'm probably getting even a worse grade. No. The good news is I had a video about. No.